Here are the tests on my 1937 standard Madbrook toilet. I find it odd that they named a toilet Madbrook when every other American standard model with the name Brook in it is a urinal, like Trimbrook, Lynbrook, Allbrook, Washbrook, and then they come out with a urinal at the same time called a Mad Stone, so I wonder if they just switched up the names on the drawing board. But anyway, this toilet was made before there were any government regulations on water usage, so I just set it to the highest adjustment level on that fill valve, and that seems to work awesome. So anyway, I will show you guys a flush, and then let's see how it does on tests. That flush is absolutely amazing. Let's hope the performance and bowl rinse are amazing too. As far as I know, this toilet has nothing obstructing the trapway. It's fully glazed, obviously, because every toilet was at this time. And there was actually the remains of a rat in the trapway, and that was kind of fun to find, but I got rid of all that. I did an acid cleaning, no minerals, none of that stuff, so it should do absolutely perfect on a washcloth. Of course, it did perfectly as expected. One other thing that I found kind of odd about this toilet is that when I was cleaning it and I put my hand in the trapway opening to, scrub the stuff out of it, it's actually pretty small, but it seems to not make much of a difference because I'm imagining this toilet has good performance, because all toilets had good performance at this time. Now let's see if it can take a grocery bag. Again, no 30s low tank standard ever failed a grocery bag, so this isn't going to be the first one. Of course, it did perfectly. Now let's see if it can take the washcloth and the grocery bag together. For the last two tests, I actually don't think I let it fill up all the way because I just knew it would pass really well, but this is a larger test, so I let the tank fill all the way. It took it from the center and bunched up all the edges in the middle, so I'm going to guess that's why it failed. But before I pull it out, I'm going to let it have another try. I'm going to flush it again once that tank refills. A good bit of water is actually flowing through those priming jets, which is why it didn't overflow. While it did fail that test, it really was not clogged hard at all. So I'm going to go ahead and let that refill, and I'm going to try that test again. That was amazing. That's a bit more like what I was expecting the first time. This toilet had a little bit of trouble taking the washcloth and grocery bag down, but once it was angled differently, it seemed to do all right. So for the next test, let's see if it can take a dish towel. And I'm going to try the big dish towel. I'm not gonna doubt a standard, because when I say it'll clog, it passes. So I don't have a whole ton of faith in this one, to be completely honest, but let's see. I think the reason it's bunching them up at the opening like this is simply because it just doesn't have a really big flush. It doesn't fill the whole bowl up with water and swirl it all around. It just kind of gets to the point and shoves everything down. So it would work just fine on normal use, but it does not seem to like these cloths. So I'm going to angle it a little differently. I'm going to see if that makes a difference, just to see if it has the ability to take this thing. But if not, I'm going to try my worn out dish towel and see if that does any better. Let's see how it does. Alright, now for the last try. I'm going to angle it like that and see if it can pull it down. But I'm not going to keep trying because it failed the past 2 times. So it took it angled. I think it still would have had I not held the handle again after that, but it still seems like a very solid performer. I would definitely trust this toilet installed in my bathroom if I could, but unfortunately my flange is too small and this toilet has an extended horn, so I'd have to find some way to elevate it off the floor. And if I managed to do that, I would still have to figure out how to mount the tank to the wall and not make the elbow leak. So I'm not really ready to go through all that, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave my hygiene in place. So now let's move on to the flush tests. For the first flush test, let's see how it flushes with a dry bowl. I'm guessing that it will do perfectly because this toilet is amazing and it has a long flush with a lot of water behind it. That would definitely still work. It might not be as good, but that was a great flush. Now let's do a dirt test. Concealed siphon jet toilets tend to have more issues with flushing dirt, but I don't think any standard toilet has ever had issues, concealed siphon jet or not. So I'm guessing that it's probably not going to do 10 out of 10. It's not going to get every single last spec, but it's going to get pretty darn close. So let's give this a flush and see how it does. So it left these things down here, but these are literal rocks, and so it looks like it took all the dirt and just left a few stones down there, and no toilet has to flush stones, so that should be totally fine. Then the bowl rinse, this seems to be near 10 out of 10. Not quite, but very, very good. So this toilet has an amazing flush. While not perfect, perfect is a very, very, very hard thing to get. So I'm going to give this another flush. The tank's at a good level, and I'm going to see if it can take all those rocks. Yeah, unfortunately not. Toilets just aren't made to flush rocks. Well, unless you eat a lot of dairy or something, then maybe. But I think it would still do just fine on normal use. So anyway, that is all for this video. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe and turn on notifications, It helps my channel a lot and I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next video.